Rotten
Bada bing, bada
mango.
boom.
It's the middle of the day in South Korea.
Okay.
South Koreans are busy. They're rushing to their next place. They're heading to work. They're grabbing lunch. They're picking up the kids from school.
What they eating,
Everybody's
though?
minding their own business. Except there's this one man, an American guy named
Oh
Ramsey.
no. I think I'd have seen this goofy ass nigga before, bro. Didn't he get arrested in Korea for some stuff? And I think his cameraman like got out of jail or something like that. Bro, no. Oh, she talking about that? Because the name of the title is American Streamer Plays Diddy Song.
He's looking side to side. Maybe it's hindsight. It just appears that he's up to no good. He's live streaming on his phone. And eventually, when he puts his backpack, he puts his phone down and props it up, the live stream viewers can see this female figure in front of Ramsey. And he pulls out his portable speaker and he just starts blasting a song in the middle of a public street in broad daylight. The lyrics of the song go, "Last night, I couldn't even get an answer. I tried to call, but my pride wouldn't let me dial." It's a song titled Last Night by Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. The American man, Ramsey, he starts slowly walking up to the figure of that
Where
woman.
his shirt
And he
at?
starts stripping off his shirt until he's shirtless in the middle of the street, grabbing a bottle of baby oil.
When she said a lady, I didn't know this was a statue. Is this actually, or is this one of them statue people who actually real people but look like statues? Because if she doing it, is she doing a good ass job? But bro, where is your damn shirt? Clout is a hell of a
Woman.
drug, bro.
And he starts stripping off his shirt until he's shirtless in the middle of the street, grabbing a bottle of baby oil. And he just starts smearing it all over his chest in broad daylight in the middle of Seoul. A whole crowd of Koreans form, passerbys. He's trying to rub his butt up against the female figure. He's trying to dance all up on this female figure,
I think it's an
rubbing
actual
baby
statue.
oil onto her. And the Koreans are screaming at him in Korean. And he's screaming back in English. He doesn't stop dancing.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it should low-key be a crime if you willing to do anything for money. For the people who willing to do anything for money, not saying like this dude clearly, and I know a little bit about his back, like his track record. People who clearly do stuff for money and they don't have to do all this extra stuff for money, we need to put them in a mental institution or jail, like seriously. Because anybody who willing to do anything for money, that mean they not above harming people and doing anything. Like, bro, stop.
He just screams back, and it seems like he's screaming more towards his live streaming audience. I think these people are about to call the police on me. But for what? For what? What did I do wrong? I'm just trying to show her love. Because of what? I'm trying to show my love to her.
You
Like
disturbing
what
the
Diddy
public,
always
nigga.
says, like,
Yeah.
show some love.
Yeah, well, I think KVD said that mainly, but
That's
yes.
how P. Diddy looking at this shit.
So eventually the crowd becomes very angry that he stops dancing with the figure of the woman. He puts his shirt back on and he sits down. This is all live streamed, and all of it would go viral in South Korea, making it to the news, making it to a congressional hearing, making him the #1 target for
Dang.
all South Koreans. Because the figure that he's rubbing baby oil on whilst playing Diddy's songs, I mean, the implication being very clear there, the woman that he's doing this to is a bronze statue. She is there to memorialize the hundreds of thousands of girls and women that were essayed and tortured during the war. Girls and women that were essayed 40 to 60 times per day for years for the quote-unquote comfort of soldiers.
Nah,
This
that's
video
weird.
will go viral.
I'm not gonna lie, not only is he weird, but back in the day, I used to, like when I looked at history and stuff like that, I always thought that was crazy and that was weird, because you gotta keep in mind, a lot of people's parents and grandparents, they was some of them people. Don't act like we don't, hey. People be trying to act like, how is the world still the way it is? Them people who's doing that crazy stuff back in the day that we read about, yeah. They had kids, they had, you know what I'm saying? You don't think some of that got passed down, whether it was like directly or like indirectly? Like,
And Ramsey will be hunted on the streets of South Korea. By day 35 in South Korea, Ramsey will have been beaten on the streets multiple times with busted eyebrows, busted lips. And the very interesting part is, he's not free to leave South Korea. The authorities have confiscated his passport. They're opening an investigation into him. He's stuck in South Korea, in a nation where he is being hunted for sport.
Bro, the cloud is not that serious. This is the story
of Ramsey Khalid Ismail, otherwise known as Johnny Somali, the most hated American guy in South Korea.
The clout is not that serious though, bro. Like, you could go get a regular job. Like you're getting beat up for money. It can't be just the money, bro. It can't be the attention. Cause it don't taste that sweet, bro. I'm telling you. He got issues.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support Palestine Children's Relief Fund.
Nice.
They are a volunteer-based group that provides free medical care and humanitarian aid to thousands of injured, abused, and abandoned children.
I'm not sure if the link that I have in my Twitter bio still work. I'm gonna have to check on that, but I've never taken my link in my Twitter bio down. It do help relief. It's like a relief fund for Gaza and stuff like that. So if y'all do want to go support, I'm gonna make sure I check it before, But
this episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team. And we'd also like to thank you guys, our listeners, for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Some quick disclaimers for today's case. There's mentions of SA, trafficking, slavery, and if that's too heavy, please take care, stay safe.
We gotta check out the P. Diddy
cases.
And
for general disclaimers, I want to be very clear that any discussions about specific countries, their history, or mentions of wrongdoings is not an effort to degrade their people nor their culture, just like how Americans do not want to be identified by our politicians' decisions or our government's decisions,
Facts.
much of which we strongly oppose. The same goes for every other country.
I won't say that most of us oppose it, because when we get to the elections and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep it very tame over here. I ain't gonna say too much.
Decisions, much of which we strongly oppose. The same goes for every other country. Nor is it meant to single out any specific region, because historically, I think every single region and country has a past that they are not proud of and should not be proud of. And one last brief note. The American streamer goes by the name Johnny Somali. His Wikipedia page states that he's half Somali, but he has done a video where he states that he's half Ethiopian and Yemeni. It does not appear that he's Somali, and regardless, if he's Somali or not, many Somalis are frustrated that he's putting Somali as his username because it's making them look bad. And it's not even just like a small group of TikTokers being like, hee, look at this guy. It's becoming an international issue. So for the purpose of this video, he's Johnny Salami, if we're talking about his username.
Salami?
Like the meat. Because he's not Johnny Somali. I don't think that we should keep using his username. Additionally, I will be referring to him as his real government name, which is Ramsey Khalid Ismail. His name is Ramsey, and he is an American national.
Called this nigga Salami.
Perhaps he immigrated when he was younger. Honestly, I can't be too certain, but he does hold a U.S. passport. He's a U.S. citizen, and he's an American. We will be calling him by his real name, Ramsey Khalid Ismail. So with that being said, let's get started. Do you know the game Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
You look for a certain figure in a busy crowd, and when you find him, you win the game. It's like...
Wait, hold up. No, I'm not going to play this. It's too much going on.
Waldo.
Let me chill out.
You look for a certain figure in a busy crowd, and when you find him, you win the game. It's like a big game of hide and seek. This is taking place in real life right now in South Korea. But instead of looking for Waldo in the red and white striped shirt, South Koreans are looking for this American streamer named Ramsey. One netizen comment reads, Ramsey's biggest mistake was that he let South Koreans turn their anger into a game of Ramsey catch. When anger and gaming skills are combined, there is no country in the world that can beat South Korea. Dang. And Ramsey's trying to be discreet, or at least he's thinking he is.
No, he's not.
He's wearing all black, which during the colder months, most Koreans do love an all black look. It's sleek, it's subtle, it goes with everything. It doesn't make you...
Bro is walking through the street with a big ass fucking selfie stick on a phone.
Older months, most Koreans do love an all black look. It's sleek, it's subtle, it goes with everything. It doesn't make you stand out. Ramsey's gone ahead and he's paired it with a black beanie. He's in a quiet part of Seoul near a bunch of alleyways with his two friends, but that doesn't stop him from being hunted.
Two friends, are they American too, or they're Koreans?
One of them is an American. The other one is, I believe, a Korean national that got deported from America and was arrested in America for firearms violations.
Oh my
But
gosh.
he's ethnically Korean. The other one is American.
but they're all from America, so they traveled here together, right?
I think the Korean now lives there because he's been deported.
I would not travel no goofy ass nigga
Now,
like him.
every single day that Ramsey is
Mess
staying
around
in
and get
South
you in
Korea,
trouble.
there is a bounty out for him. Albeit it's a rather small bounty, $770 for his whereabouts, but perhaps that's more
Dang.
insulting than anything.
That's what I'm saying. Niggas out there jumping you on the street, beating your ass for sport for 700. Nah, that's crazy. Niggas out here paying their rent to beat your ass.
He's walking
That's
down
so
an
crazy.
alleyway when he hears them. They're coming for him. The Koreans.
Multiple?
He starts running for his life because the streets are relatively empty. Nobody's out.
Niggas
There's
getting that
nobody that he can
700.
scream to save him. And even if he did, at this point, who's to say that they're not just going to jump in and start beating him too? Honestly, maybe he's thinking that. Maybe it's radio silence up here while he's running away. I'm not sure. But there's this big Korean man that's chasing after him, just running down the alleyway after him. And once he reaches Ramsey, the Korean man grabs the back of Ramsey's jacket and slams him over his shoulder, smack onto the cold street pavement, and kicks him square in the chest and face.
Damn.
The whole thing is being recorded, and once it's uploaded, I've never seen a whole nation of people so united in asking, why not more? Do it some more. What is happening right now? Why is violence being condoned? What is happening to
he
the
did goofy
American
shit.
Ramsey in South Korea right now? I mean, South Korea has a notorious bullying problem, and one netizen
messed around
comments,
and found out.
finally, Korean bullying problem pointed in the right direction. The whole nation is pretty much unanimously angry at Ramsey. He is the nation's punching bag. There's clips of Ramsey and his friend Gino, another American streamer, and they're walking down the
Oh, this the cameraman who was laughing about Buddy's situation. This is not his friend, bro. He got to be getting a bag or something.
this other alleyway. They're both in real life streamers, IRL streamers.
Are they streaming on like Twitch or what's going on?
They got banned on Twitch. Then they went on Kick, or at least Ramsey went on Kick. He got banned on Kick. He got banned from YouTube. He's on Rumble now, I believe. He just keeps getting banned. But they're both IRL streamers, meaning they like to go around and explore new towns or countries while streaming on their phones.
Which is
using,
not
I think,
safe.
Starlink to get cell reception. And they just like walk around different towns. I mean, most of them just have these long selfie sticks in their phones streaming in real time on the street. It's interesting because they're both streaming together. So you get two perspectives of the same incident. They're standing on the side of the street in South Korea and it's nighttime, but it's still fairly early. So there's people everywhere. When out of nowhere, Ramsey's stream takes a tumble. It's like he dropped his phone and it goes black for a moment. What the hell just happened? Just mid-sentence, he's gonna cut out his stream? But you can see it on his friend's perspective, Gino's stream. Ramsey did not just randomly decide to drop his phone. He was standing on the side of the street when a man walks up to him, a Korean man, and just punches him, decks Ramsey in the face before walking away. Not even running away. He is walking away in the most calm manner, hands in his pockets, like nothing just occurred. Given zero context at all, if you don't know what's going on, you could say, if we live in a contextless, nuanceless world, just judging by this clip, this was an unprompted, unprovoked attack. You could say that, but the comments would read otherwise. Top comments read, Captain Korea. That's the guy's name now. We love him. Someone buy the guy a beer. Perfect landing, good execution of punch. Now do it again. Translated comments by South Korean netizens read, because of patriots like that, the dignity of the country shall be maintained. Others read, he should have hit more. He should be honored with the Brave Citizen Award, actually. So what the hell did Ramsey do that would warrant all of this? Is it just because he danced with a statue? What's going on?
I'm not even gonna lie. The statue stuff is like a high level disrespect. And I know that they like live, like their country is a lot more like conservative. You know what I'm saying? Like they like that old school. Yeah, you're not about to disrespect women around here, bro. That's crazy.
South Korea. Ramsey
Even
had
though
gone
in
on
Korea
this
they do
world
disrespect
tour
the
of sorts,
women.
just making Americans look bad. That is his whole thing. But his antics really start in Japan. He live streams himself out in Japan, harassing citizens, doing the most obnoxious, racist things. And because the world is depressing, he actually gains so much attention doing that. Versus when he's just out vlogging and showing off what he's eating, nobody cares. And
when was Japan?
end of 2023.
That cloud
Was
get to
this
people's
the
head.
one that we saw? Was
On the
guy
subway station.
went to like an all-female subway and then?
Oh,
or
that's
was
a
that-
different man.
Okay.
Oh no!
No,
What did he do?
some of these IRL streamers are ruining Japan.
That is crazy.
Bro, IRL streaming is not very good in very many situations. I will say Speed is pretty solid at it. I feel like he's getting older and he maturing a little bit more. I think I seen the Speed live stream where he was with Amy, and I thought that was so cute. I was looking at, I ain't gonna lie, I got caught up on TikTok seeing the little ship, him and Amy together, and then I seen that they end up not working out and stuff, and I was like, dang, she seemed like she kind of messed with him, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I low-key got caught up, but I will say IRL streaming is not it, bro. For most people, it's not it. It's not safe. It's not, like, I don't understand it. Like, I've wanted to do it before, but
this is
not safe at all.
That people do.
And there are Japanese citizens protesting tourists. They're like, we actually despise you. Please never come.
Wow.
That's valid, though.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, obviously, tourism is great in any country, but not this type of tourism. Mm-hmm. Ramsey would go onto the subways in Japan and say that everybody is shooting him dirty ass looks on the subway. He's insinuating that all the Japanese people are aggressively mean and are racist, but it's because you're live streaming and waving a camera around, which, by the way, he keeps saying everyone's shooting me dirty looks as if they're all the problem. Yeah. But they're not. Eventually, he straight up tells his own viewers that he's not trying to give the foreigners a good image in Japan. He's out here trying to give foreigners a bad image. He says, I'm not a role model. He also proceeds to call everyone in Japan an NPC. He will literally walk around live streaming saying, crazy, these are all just NPCs out here. They're all NPCs, bro, all NPCs. Which, side note, NPC stands for non-playable character in games, like the ones that stand on the side offering you a side quest. Bro. When there were women that refused to be on his live stream, he made fun of them, saying that they didn't want to be on camera because they use too much filters. So now they can't show their real faces. Just being straight up racist and misogynistic. One could potentially argue that Ramsey himself is the one that could benefit from overusage of filters, but it does not stop him from just being blatantly rude and disregarding another country's culture and norms. He will live stream himself walking into restaurants.
Y'all know something I never understood? When guys like shoot they shot at a girl or they say they want a girl and then the girl don't want them and then they like completely flip their whole personality and be like, you ugly, I didn't want you anyway. Like, are you okay in the head, bro? Like,
where everything is in Japanese because he's in Japan and he starts aggressively shaking menus, pointing at the menu, saying everything is in this Mulan language. Oh. Yeah.
Nah, you tweaking, bro.
He would walk around getting drunk, screaming on the streets, we're here to destroy Japanese society. Drop a nuke emoji in the chat. Chat, drop a nuke emoji. But by far, the most viral for all the wrong reasons clip of Ramsey is him sitting inside a subway car in Japan. There's a Japanese man sitting next to him, minding his own business, when Ramsey looks to him and says, Hiroshima. Hiroshima. The guy looks confused because why are you just...
Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. The more I'm hearing about you, bro, the more it seems justified that they beating your ass in the middle of the street, bro. Like
telling me a random city in Japan. That's like me walking up to someone and being like, Philadelphia. It's so random.
No, it's not.
He takes off his earbuds and he looks confused and Ramsey double downs. You know Hiroshima? Yeah. Nagasaki? Okay, now the man looks uncomfortable because yes, both of those places are cities, but also the two cities that the US bombed during World War II, killing over 250,000 people, most of whom were civilians. Yeah, and now you have an American. I mean, obviously the Japanese man at this point wouldn't know his nationality, but you can presume that he's an American.
Man, they know
just sitting there.
This man up in there talking jibber jabber to this dude. He probably barely even know what this man's saying. He could tell probably based off of the accent. And dude got the camera for the live stream. They know this nigga is definitely not from Japan. I know they know that.
Asking him if he knows about these two cities. Johnny continues, why you do this? Pearl Harbor. Then he starts screaming on the train, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know why we do this to you, right? Because you don't know how to behave. I swear to God, you do again, we do again. Do you understand? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we do again.
They need to ban that nigga from America too.
We're gonna do again. What? Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Which none of the Japanese people on the train do anything because for one, maybe they just don't want to give him the time of day.
I would ignore the hell out that nigga.
I would honestly be kind of scared. Is he saying he has something on the train? Is he saying he's going to do it again on the train? It's a bit scary to even react. But one American walks up to him, a Korean American. Why don't you leave this guy alone? Just leave him alone, man. What do you mean? The Korean American asks him, where are you from, man? I'm from America. You're from America? So am I. Yeah, you're being obnoxious, dude. You know what we do to you? The Korean American man is confused. What do you do? Because they're both American. We will do it again.
Goofy
do
ass
what?
nigga.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Which is just racist on top of racist at this point. But Ramsey keeps questioning him that he's from America until the Korean American man says, I'm from Texas, buddy. But Ramsey continues asking him what his ethnicity is. I'm Korean. Then sit down, brother. Why don't you sit your ass down?
Damn.
Okay, then Korean War. You know what happened to you.
That's freaking crazy.
The Korean American man just tries to tell him, come on, you're being obnoxious. Leave the guy alone. Speaking about the Japanese guy.
He being more calm
Korean
than
War,
me.
North Korean War. You know what we did to you.
Korean War, North Korean War, you know what we did to you.
This is one of the first clips of Ramsey's to go viral. And once he realizes that everyone hates him, he starts live streaming angrily in the streets of Japan again. So prior to this, he's not getting much attention. This is the clip that blows up. Everyone on X is talking about him and he's upset. He's live streaming. Everybody's mad at me. I don't give a shit. Don't take shit too seriously. More haters is more views is more money. More haters is the more eyes watching. More eyes watching is more money. You know what I mean?
Just keep streaming and get rich and get super rich and just that's gonna piss everybody off. That's how you fucking win over these normies.
Haters are my
Bro, until you die, nigga, until you end up bloodied in the trash can, and you can't move and you ain't got no health care over there in Japan, and you just being goofy. Like, I promise you, this type of like fame do not stick, bro. Nobody about to stick around. Like, it's one thing to have a viral moment, but it's another thing to be viral as a person. Kai Cenat, he's a viral person. He's been doing this for years and years and years to the point to where the money is stable. You know what I'm saying? What you doing right now, bro? You're not gonna be able to do this forever, bro. I promise you, I promise you, you're not gonna be able to do this forever, bro. It don't matter how many times you go viral, it's not gonna be sustainable.
my motivators, you know? The more haters, the better. And I can just tell you, as someone who also posts on the internet, when you hear someone say that, that means they are very bothered. He says, the more haters, the better. The more viewers, the better. I love every single one of my haters, bro. You know what I mean? We don't know what you mean. Which is good, I guess, because Johnny will meet many of his haters. After that video clip of him screaming Hiroshima, Nagasaki, screaming at employees, calling the Japanese language Mulan language goes viral, he's still in Japan live streaming. Naturally, he starts getting confronted. A middle-aged man flicks him off and starts ramming his bike into Ramsey. Another time he gets confronted in an alleyway, completely alone at night, by a man on a motorcycle. Suddenly, big, bad, tough Johnny Salami on the subway, he's gone.
Hey, chill out.
Ain't no chill out, Salami.
Yes, he's like, chill. I didn't even say anything. I was just saying what the chat told me to say. You know, I'm trying to make money. I'm just trying to make money. I'm just trying to make a living. The guy gets off his motorcycle and starts stalking him, walking behind him in the alleyway. He takes off his helmet. He wants to understand, why would you say that? Why?
Somebody give me money and they said, say it. No. So I said it on the train.
Somebody gave me money to say it. They gave me money, okay? To say it. Understand?
Nigga. We seen the clips.
I understand.
And that's what's goofy about it. Nigga, we could see the clips. We could see the chat on the screen. Like, bro, who you think you fooling, you dumb ass nigga? We could see the whole fucking shit live on the screen, nigga. We could go back and look at the VOD. Nigga, you think we stupid? Nigga, I ought to beat your ass for lying to me. Like, he lucky I ain't. Bro.
But it's not good. The Japanese man says in English. Johnny then proceeds to tell the police, because he calls the police on him.
You could have said no.
That the man threatened him because he's a member of the Yakuza, which is, again, just so bizarre. There's another incident where he runs into a Japanese streamer, Miyako, and he is so aggressive with her, just popping up, trying to interact with her. She's taken aback. She's streaming in real time on Twitch.
I'm glad she had
and
somebody
he warns
with her.
Oh, you just showed me on your stream? You know, on Twitch, if you even show the face of a banned Twitch streamer, you're going to get banned because you're platforming somebody that's banned. This is her livelihood. So
Yeah.
later in the stream, she breaks down crying, which I was thinking about too. It's not even just he is threatening her livelihood and making her scared, but imagine being a Japanese streamer. And I think she lives in Belgium, but besides the point, she's Japanese, right? You run into this notorious streamer now for all the wrong reasons who has attacked Japan. And it's a feeling of, I should have said something or done something or told him it's not okay, condemn his actions while everybody's watching because I'm Japanese, this is what I stand for. But also, how terrifying is it? You're taken aback because you weren't prepared to run into him and now you're scared and now you could lose your livelihood, or everybody could be mad at you for not saying anything. But in that moment, you were so scared to say anything. And the pressure of it all is just coming down on her.
Facts though, bro. I think it's so crazy that people like say, oh, I'll do this in this situation, or I would do that, this, that, and the other. But a lot of times people don't know what they would do in that situation until they actually in that situation. Like it's dead serious. Like I think the best example, and I'll give y'all a little bit of tea. You know what I'm saying? Like this year I had a K-pop idol react to one of my videos. If you know, you know. And I was like, you know, anybody could say that they'll do something and this, that, and the other, but how do I capitalize on this? That was my first thought. Like, first I was low-key geeking out, but then I was like, how do I capitalize on this? So I was like, okay, he reacted to my video of me reacting to him. And if you don't know, it's Kehoe from, dang, killing it. Dang, I'm tripping right now. It's late at night. P1 Harmony. It was Kehoe from P1 Harmony, and he reacted to my reaction to Killing It. It's literally stuck in my head because it was like a monumental moment. And he ended up reacting to it, but he didn't have the video up on the screen. So I went and I edited the video of him reacting to my video, and then I reacted to him reacting to me. And it did so good on the channel, and I was so hyped that not only did I watch the video, or not only did he watch the video, but I reacted to the video and capitalized on the opportunity. That's what you got to do for real. But it's hard to do that in the moment.
Thanking her viewers for being kind. And she said, we worked quickly with Twitch staff to avoid having our account banned. I burst into tears because there was just so much going on, but I hope he leaves Japan soon. I felt helpless as I couldn't do anything, even though he was right in front of my face. Thank you, everyone, for your concern. Which, side note, Ramsey has apologized before in Japan multiple times. There is one clip of him bowing down, like a full proper bow, but I will say any apology he gives is pretty much fake. He apologizes twice in Japan, but he's not sorry. He only apologizes when he's about to get beaten. He only apologizes when he thinks he's about to get arrested. And after he leaves Japan, he starts talking very negatively about Japan after his apologies. To give you context, one of his more known apologies in Japan came after he was choked out on the street by a stranger.
Damn.
So clearly, he's not actually sorry. But immediately after that, after his apology, he goes to Disneyland Japan and starts IRL streaming, which is, first of all, not allowed on any Disneyland properties. But he wore his speaker on his shirt so that his followers can donate. So at certain platforms, when you have IRL streaming, you can have viewers donate in real time. If they donate a certain amount, they can have automated text, or they can have some sort of sound song or something play on his speaker.
Talk to speech.
Okay.
Now, a lot of streamers won't do that because you're inviting people to donate just so they can say very explicit things that you have to now witness and listen and everybody has to see you react to. It's just, it's not the best thing to do, I would say.
I see.
Unless you have a really good community of people, which clearly he does not. Yeah. But he wears this speaker on his shirt. His followers are donating, and they're typing whatever they want it to say and play out loud. And of course, naturally, the smooth-brained crowd of people, they keep playing things like Sucky Sucky, Atomic Bomb, and really explicit noises in Japan. At the
She says smooth brain.
He would also go around moaning, quote, anime sounds, like stereotypical anime, really explicit type of noises, I guess.
He's making that noise himself out of his own mouth?
Yes, just aggressively making those noises in public while stalking high schoolers in Japan. He does ultimately get confronted by a group of Japanese streamers who find out where he's staying. He half apologizes, not really. He just states that he has autism, which I don't think he does, but also crazy. And because of the language barrier, they believe that he's apologized and they walk off. There's another
They found a
incident where
nigga
he's
crib?
dancing on a crosswalk and a man, a stranger, just walks up to him and slaps him so hard across his face that his hat
Dang.
gets knocked off his head. And he's always traveling with this little minion of his named Gino IRL, a fellow American streamer. He is Ramsey 2.0. He's probably most well known for his stunts in Thailand. He actually tries the whole deplorable foreigner traveling in other people's countries and doing things that they wouldn't dare in their home country type of act in Thailand. There's this whole bit where Gino tries it in Thailand, which is very,
Oh, he ain't no better than
I don't know if you can call it satisfying per se, but it's a very interesting clip of Gino. He's with Ramsey. Later that day, they separate and he's walking around. He's walking down this busy street in Thailand and there's these rows of restaurants and tons of civilians eating dinner on the side of the road. He's live streaming while walking. He says, I don't care what it is. I just want to and he says, gut your ass alive.
What?
He swings to the side as he's saying this, out of view from the live stream, but he likely either pushed something or someone or pushed a chair, or perhaps he got into a stranger's face that's just casually eating dinner at a restaurant. It's unclear. But Gino walks away after that because he just loves acting like he's so big, bad, and tough. The belief here is either the Thai people, the people of this country, will not understand what he said in English, or perhaps they are just generally too busy to care for a speck of dust like him. I'm not sure what he thought was going to happen. I've only known my Thai friends to be very patient and tolerant, but not until you disrespect them, which I find this very disrespectful.
That's
He
most
keeps
people.
walking, thinking he's this big bad boy, and when you see a glimpse from the screen, it's like the whole restaurant came out and they're following him now.
Oh, shit.
There's like
Oh,
20
shit.
people walking out after him.
So they fully understood what he said.
I mean, I don't know if they, I think so. I mean, most of them were speaking English, but also you just don't do that. Even if you said something very nice, I just want to love you. It's the body language, the tone. It was bad. It's like you want to fight.
So he's walking away knowing that there's a bunch of people following him.
He doesn't know until he finally looks at his screen, sees a bunch of them just following him, zoned in, zeroed
shit.
in,
What does that
staring
nigga
at
pick
the
up?
back of his head. And he turns around and he starts...
Yeah, I didn't mean to destroy property.
We don't do that.
I know. I'm sorry.
We don't need money. You don't do like this in here.
I'm sorry.
Nah,
Gino
hey,
then
watch
starts
Buddy to your left.
apologizing. They give him a lecture and they let him go because they're good people. This is his little sidekick. This is his minion. The two of them, they travel from country to country together, IRL streaming. And now Ramsey and Gino are walking down the street when they're confronted by this woman. This is in Japan now.
A woman?
And she's asking him to answer for his racist comments. Ramsey and Gino, they turn around and they start calling the woman racist, accusing them of being racist on their stream and on the middle of the street. Eventually, they start walking away from the woman, and you see another foreigner who's standing there. He looks like maybe European, I'm not sure. He's standing there witnessing all of this, smoking a cigarette. He kind of side-eyes Ramsey and Gino, and then out of nowhere, he just decks Gino in the face, decks him out
Damn.
so hard that immediately Gino gets a donation from a sub.
What?
Yeah,
What?
so, okay. I don't know what
Dang, he hit him that hard?
they
Shit.
did in their settings, but every time Gino and Ramsey get a donation, they play a Mario sound where Mario gets a coin or something.
No, he knocked the Mario
Sound.
coins out
And
his ass.
right when he gets decked in the face, someone subs. So it's like you punch Mario and you got a coin.
No.
Is the implication. I thought for the longest time it was a post edit that other people were editing that noise in while re-uploading them getting decked in the face, but
No.
it actually happened in real time.
So it just matched perfectly.
Yes.
Nah,
It
that's
sounds like he got punched.
hilarious,
Yes.
For a Go coin. Got it.
And Johnny is completely still processing what just happened. He doesn't try to run. He doesn't try to fight back. He doesn't help his friend Gino. Instead, Ramsey then gets knocked in the face. I'm so sorry.
Dang.
Johnny and Ramsey are the same person. It's just very confusing because all the research I did is like Johnny, but I'm trying to use his government name Ramsey because I feel like it's better for him to be shamed And then he comes and decks Ramsey in the face. Ramsey, by the way, was not even trying to hide, was not trying to run, was not trying to help his friend Gino, was not trying to fight back. Ramsey just waits to get punched in the face. Ramsey then drops his phone and you hear someone donate to the live stream as well. But people start donating and they decide to do the text-to-speech donation.
No,
so
they gonna
instead
make
of the
it worse
Mario
for these
coin sound
niggas.
effect, you get an automated voice saying, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, while he's out cold.
Anonymous sent $3 Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
And then you just hear the claps of people nearby. They're clapping that these two were just punched in the face. Netizens have since commented on this video stating, dude, God bless that guy. Hit him so hard Mario got a coin. Another comment reads, as a Japanese person, I cannot describe how grateful I am to this guy. Violence is bad, but there is always an exception. I feel great. Another comment reads, the fact that some native Japanese people clapped when these guys got decked says a lot.
Yeah, they know.
If you know, considering how public situations are usually treated here. But what do you expect from this guy? This is the same guy where there is a video of Ramsey hitting on minors. He promptly titled this video, Johnny Salami becomes P. Diddy. Yes. And it's him live streaming on the street, hitting on girls. Finally, they ask the girls how old they are. They are 16 and 17. He lies to them that he's 19, but he's actually 23. And he says it's fine because the age of consent in that area is 16.
No, bro. No, bro. Don't do that, bro. That's weird, bro. This type of stuff pissed me off, bro.
Straight up tells these girls he doesn't care how old they are because he's ready to go to jail. He doesn't give a He tells the girls, I'm going to groom you. He literally says, I will groom you.
I go to jail. I got wife number 1 and wife number 2. I don't give a
Do they fully understand what he's saying?
Yes, and they're getting freaked out. He's kissing their hands. He starts
really
trying to get their
is P.
numbers
Diddy.
and says, hey, call me Johnny 16, call me Johnny 17. I don't give a I'm like P. Diddy, I'm like Epstein, I'm like R. Kelly. I don't care. Age is just but a number. You need an older man with some money. I'm not from here, so I'll take the chick and leave. Like
Bro,
Diddy, I'll get on a...
I'm telling you, bro, do not have money like that, bro. Bro does not have money like that if he willing to do all of this for money. Anybody willing to do this for money don't got money, bro. I'm telling you.
plane and leave like Diddy, and I'm out.
I take a plane, I leave like Diddy. Like Diddy.
Side note, he has also said about women before in the past that they are, quote, they are lower life forms only to be used for breeding, shouldn't vote, shouldn't speak. Regardless, by the end of 2023, Ramsey is arrested in Japan. When he is finally released, he is deported from Japan and has a travel ban so that he cannot travel to Japan for the next 5 years. Eventually, he ends up in South
Only
Korea,
5?
where some would say that there are
Would've gave
certain
that nigga
things
25.
that you just don't poke fun at. There are certain boundaries that just cannot be crossed. And for each country, those boundaries are different. For Korea, that is the plight of comfort woman. Side note, I know that comfort woman itself is a very strange term to those that are unfamiliar, but it is the most recognized term in South Korea for what happened to these women. There are comfort woman victims and survivors in places like China, Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, just pretty much all over Asia. There are victims and survivors from all those countries, and many of them have decided that they don't like to be referred to euphemistically as comfort women. They like to be labeled as slave victims or survivors. In South Korea, many of the comfort women have spoken up and said that they kind of prefer the softness of this term. And many of Koreans know this terminology better. So to change the terminology in Korea, it would just cause more confusion rather than anything. But they are literal victims of repeated torture and essay. This term is not used to make light of what happened, obviously. The comfort woman refers to the hundreds of thousands of girls and women who were forced into slavery by the Japanese military during World War II. It's stated by many sources, like I said, that many of the victims were Korean, Chinese, Filipino, Indonesian, Malaysian.
And they wonder why, like, all of the birth rates going down, bro. It's just, bro.
Taiwanese, Thai, Vietnamese,
All the evidence
amongst other
there.
places. It is probably one of the most painful parts of South Korean history, but it's also one of the most controversial because somehow it becomes politically divisive. Certain leaders of Japan have tried to rewrite history with one big excuse being, where is the evidence? It's pretty well acknowledged by many that Japan destroyed many documents, including ones regarding the comfort woman station, so that's not really the best argument to make by these
Nigga, the
politicians.
people who went through
If you
it?
destroy the evidence, then you ask where's the evidence, it's not going to go over well. It's just not. It's also hard when 90% of the comfort women were killed so that they could not live to tell their tale.
And most of them are very, 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 very old now.
Yes, most of them have passed.
Yeah.
There's only like a handful of them throughout Asia, and they're in their 90s. The UN's Global Tribunal on Violation of Women's Human Rights estimated that by the end of World War II, 90% of the, quote, comfort women have passed during the war. We're talking hundreds of thousands of women enslaved, taken to remote foreign territories under brutal conditions, forced to be essayed with as many as 40 soldiers per day. If the women survived, they were shamed to not talk about what happened. They were terrified. And many passed away from complications from the violent abuse that they endured, from the STIs that were left untreated. Others self-exited. One of the survivors, Lee, she was running an errand for her parents when out of nowhere, a car pulls up on the street, stops, every door flings open, a group of uniformed men drag her into the car. She's 14 years old. She is then taken to a, quote, comfort station in the Japanese-occupied China, where she's forced to, quote, serve Japanese soldiers. Another Korean survivor, Kim, she was 15 when she was forced into a, quote, comfort station. She states that she was taken to a station in China for Japanese soldiers. So side note, a little bit of history, because during World War II, Japan occupied a significant portion of China as well as most of South Korea. She gets to the station. She's asked for her age. She states she's 15. They don't care. Army medics come to examine all the girls that are brought there, and they thought they were coming here to work to create uniforms for soldiers. Not that they had a choice even then. Japan is occupying Korea. During the war, they were forcing Korean men, just pulling kids, male kids, students out of schools to fight for the Japanese Imperial Army. They were pulling girls out of their homes to work in factories. Many of them were not taken to factories. They were taken to comfort stations, and even then, they had no choice. There was no such thing as no. They would strip the family of everything and exile them from Korea. Where would they go? They have no belongings, no money, no resources. Where do they go? The world is in a war. Nobody wants to take anybody. After the examination by the army medics, she tries to fight back, but they beat her. They essay her. There was blood everywhere because she was so young. She and a few other girls huddled together that night and thought, we can't live like this. Wouldn't it be better to not live? They tried to gather all the money that their parents had given them to buy one bottle of liquor, somehow smuggle it in, and they tried to self-exit. One of them was left unconscious for days, but they ended up surviving, and they thought, if we survived, that is a sign that we need to live and we need to tell someone what happened to us. She says every day they were essayed, sometimes from 8 in the morning till 6 p.m., noon till 6 p.m. There would be a line of soldiers outside. She says, quote, if there was a delay in one of the essays, the guy next in line would start banging on the door. It was continuous. It happened so many times a day that I lost count. By 5 p.m., I couldn't even get up. I could not walk properly. My entire lower body was in pain. At the end of the night, the medics would come and treat us where they felt we needed to be treated, and they would inject us with random shots. This was their lives for 8 years.
Bro.
When she was finally...
This aggravating because it's never even that deep, bro. Like, why do men feel like they gotta have so much sex? Like, why do they feel entitled to sex? Why do they feel like that's like the cream of the crop of like life? Like, do they not have nothing going on in their head? Like, I don't understand it, bro. And like, I want y'all to know that like throughout my life, especially as I've gotten older, I think it's been like since I graduated college, I've been focused on YouTube. I think it's been about maybe 2 years since I done did anything sexually. Mostly by choice. I ain't gonna lie. I like hanging out with girls and, you know, having that interaction because it's a type of interaction that you can have with girls that you can't have with guys. It's a level of vulnerability and softness that you can have with girls, but it's just like, I don't understand how men just go to war and do all that extra stuff over like sex. Like, I really don't understand it. Like, it's no way people can make me understand it either. Cause like I've been in friend groups where the guys overly sexual and they talk about women, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, it never get through to me. And it might be because I really care about my mama and I care about my sisters a lot. So I understand that just like how I care about them, I should have the same level of care for other women because they people too. They got souls, they got spirits, they got wants, they got, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, like it's weird to just, but also I got to understand that some people don't respect humans, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it's just a lot more evil people in the world than I thought growing up, but I hate to hear stuff like this because it make my stomach turn. Like it literally like paralyzed me to think that like this type of stuff actually happened in the world. Like, you know, like, I don't know, maybe I grew up in a fairy tale world. I don't know.
Finally reunited with her family, she said, "How could I have told them about my experience? I mean, Korea was in shambles after World War II. As a woman, I had things done to me that were unfathomable, so I couldn't say anything to anybody. They all thought I had worked at a factory. But eventually, because I didn't want to get married, my mother wanted to find out, why don't you want to get married? She pushed me to be honest with her." And the survivor devastatingly states, "I confess that given all the abuse done to my body, I had a rotten body, and I didn't want to screw up another man's life being a rotten body next to him. It should just be my problem alone." Eventually, her mother suffered a heart attack and passed away because there was nobody that she could tell either. I mean, you're talking about this is right after the war. I feel like we barely care about women's rights now. I mean, think about back then and right after a war when everybody's in shambles, there was nothing she could do. Many of them have scars all over their bodies. One victim was beaten with a hot spatula on her chest.
What the
Many
fuck?
of them have severe damage and complications to their private areas. Feet that were permanently injured because they were constantly bound by tight ropes to be tied up so that they could not try to run. One Japanese military document that exists states some Japanese soldiers actually referred to comfort stations, which is already such a crazy way to refer to the war crime buildings as comfort stations,
Yeah,
but
that's
they
weird.
referred to them as public toilets.
What?
Some of the girls taken were so young that they didn't even have their menstrual cycles yet. One girl taken from the East Timor area says, "I was still a child and did not have my periods yet. She was forced to be essayed by 4 to 8 soldiers a night, and during the day she was forced to build a road. So she was
What?
used for labor
Damn.
and for abuse." She
When I be hearing about old stuff like this, it made me understand why they was smoking cigarettes and not caring, bro.
gave birth to a baby girl at this station, but the military took the child away. She says she felt ashamed her entire life and is still waiting an apology from the Japanese government.
Don't even keep waiting. Don't even keep waiting. They be feeling like life just move on. Like, don't even be waiting on people who would do stuff like that to you. You think they gonna apologize? Man, hell no, bro. This is like, if somebody crash out over something like this is a valid crash out. Crash out. Fuck it. I
One
don't blame
Chinese
you.
survivor saw her parents get murdered in front of her. She was gang essayed right there by more than a dozen soldiers on the spot beside her parents' lifeless bodies.
No, bro.
She was 16 years old.
That's the type of shit I'll
After
kill
that, she was
everybody
dragged
for.
away to this comfort station to be essayed every single day. It is estimated that many of the victims were essayed 40 to 60 times per day. One Filipino survivor states, "There was no rest. They essayed me every minute." Another survivor states, "I was in a different room every night. They flayed us with a horse's whip." She said sometimes she would be essayed until she lost consciousness. She was 12. Another Filipino survivor states, "We cried, we pleaded for compassion. Their bestial hearts only craved satisfaction. At the age of 14, I was poisoned. If I could prevent the sun from setting, I would have, because whenever night fell, they would start raping us." Everything is still so clear to me, ingrained in my brain, even if my body is now weak. Another victim states, "Even with the passage of 75 years, the question of women in the war is not solved at all. After all the suffering that I have been through, I have to stand my ground until I get the justice that I deserve." Side note, Japan did acknowledge the atrocities in 1993, but it gets very complicated later on because South Korea and many other countries did not feel like their apology was adequate, considering the gravity of the war crimes committed, but Japan condemned the request for more apologies.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's rarely ever anything you could do. I feel like, and it's how I feel about the justice system for real, for real. Like, whenever you do something like this, it's no amount of justice that you can give these people because they went through that shit. You can't take that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could give somebody all the money in the world. You could give somebody all the benefits in the world, bro. They went through that shit. They can't get that out their mind. Like, that's crazy.
They're like, we apologize. What more do you want? You're also not a perfect person. There's a lot of whataboutism that they bring up. Like, what about what South Korea did to blah, 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 and so and so. Additionally, the two countries are already quite in contentious predicaments over territory, amongst other things. But Japan states that they believe that the comfort woman issue was, quote, finally and irreversibly settled. But South Korea believes that's already not good enough. And additionally, because it was settled does not mean anything. It does not erase what happened. Yeah. South Korea refuses to stop acknowledging it and never wants it to be forgotten, because you can ask for forgiveness, but that doesn't mean that South Korea has to accept your apology, especially if it doesn't feel sincere, nor does it mean that they're going to forget what happened. Which has resulted in many statues to be installed all over the world, including in front of many Japanese consulates and embassies.
Dang,
which
that makes that hurt different too.
The Japanese city, and San Francisco in America are known as sister cities, which is largely ceremonial, but still. Japan cut those ties as sister cities after a comfort woman statue was installed in San Francisco. They have a heavy Asian population, and Japan stated that the comfort woman monument destroyed the two sides' relationship of trust. The statue depicts 3 young women from Korea, China, and the Philippines, the areas most affected, standing in a circle and holding hands. The inscription reads on the side of the statue, "The monument bears witness to the suffering of hundreds of thousands of women and girls, euphemistically called comfort women, who were actually enslaved by the Japanese Imperial Armed Forces in 13 Asian Pacific countries from 1931 to 1945. A Japanese official wrote a 10-page letter stating that inscription, quote, presents uncertain and one-sided claims as historical facts.
Wow.
Side note, I do want to mention from what I can see online, even in Japan, it appears to be a divisive topic. Many younger Japanese netizens have stated they didn't even know that the Imperial Army did this because it's been wiped from their textbooks. They don't teach this in school.
Bro.
Or they kind of make it seem like, yeah, women were tortured during war, but like all war, every country does it, you know, of course. It's just what happens. It's the nature of war. But many of them did not realize how bad it was.
Yeah, they do that with every part of, like, every ugly part of history. And I want y'all to keep this in mind too, because it's so true that the victors always tell the story. That's why it's his story. The winners always tell the story, and they not gonna make themselves look bad at all. You know what I'm saying? They always say, and we kind of know that during war, you know, that they do all types of crazy stuff, but they never want to go in detail and talk about how crazy it was. They even do the same thing with slavery. They didn't tell y'all that they was breeding black people. Y'all wonder why black people are the way that they are? Number one, we was over there in Africa getting down on feet. You know what I'm saying? Chasing down and handling business when it come to killing them animals and stuff like that. But then, whenever we went through slavery, they was breeding us for the best possible Negroes they could make up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for generations, they try, like, hey, he look a little weak in the legs. He ain't producing a lot of cotton. You know what I'm saying? We want the strongest, most, you know what I'm saying? So we could get the most profit out of it. Come on, bro. Like, they don't tell you all of the crazy stuff that they was doing, bro. For real. Because then they'll look bad on them.
The older generations,
them people
they're pretty split. I would say most of the older generations think that it's bad and think that it should be resolved, but there are still other contentious arguments between certain countries that also need different types of handling. But a big group of Japanese right-wing politicians and their supporters believe that South Korea and the world needs to get over it. They deny Japan's role in it, and when that doesn't work, they just list all the things South Korea has done wrong. They also dispute what happened in Nanjing, China. Yeah, which we have a whole episode on. So I would say it's definitely a small group of Japanese netizens who know everything and still deny it. And then I would say like the younger people in Japan probably haven't even heard of it, really. One survivor states, I want a formal apology. They should say what we did was completely wrong and we will correct our history textbooks and say to us, we sincerely apologize. If they wrote that kind of formal apology, then we can forgive them. This is not about money. I mean, first of all, they're like 90 years old. This is not about money. They keep trying to make the issue go away, and we are the ones that are constantly fighting so that doesn't happen. It's history. She says, because Japan's government keeps dragging it out, I have to keep talking about it over and over again. And each time I'm heartbroken beyond belief. This age in my 90s, I'm supposed to be in peace.
This is a comment from a comfort woman?
Yes. and she's in her 90s. And she just wanted a formal apology, and she didn't get
couldn't
one.
even do that
and in
shit.
2019, she passed away at 92 years old.
Bitch ass niggas. Couldn't even give her a fucking apology. She wasn't even asking for no fucking money. Y'all some hoe ass niggas, man. Like, come on, bro. Lady old, bro. She just wanted to go to rest and.
So yeah, it was a 사제 받는 거밖에 다른 도리가 없어.
One Chinese survivor states, "The longer I live, the worse it gets." And she is also in her 80s. Decades later, the survivors have still not received justice. But here is Ramsey, an American visiting South Korea. He's on a live stream when he shows a picture on his phone. He says, "That's my next target. Where can I find this one?" The picture on his phone is of a comfort woman statue.
He
The
deserve
statue
everything
shows
he
a
getting. I ain't
young
gonna care.
girl in traditional hanbok sitting on a chair because most of the victims were taken in their teenage years. The statue is very detailed. Even her bare feet, her heels are lifted because it's a symbol of unrest. You don't feel grounded. You don't feel settled. Your heels are raised.
Not even that. Whenever you young, your feet don't really go all the way to the ground, bro.
It instills anxiety. Under her is a mosaic of an older woman, which represents comfort women now, growing older, and it's shattered with all this trauma, no way to cope, no way to find peace. There's a small bird on the girl's shoulder, which represents her fight for freedom. And next to her is an empty chair. It's supposed to represent the deceased victims, but it's also a place to invite viewers to sit and reflect and have a moment of silence for what has happened and how we can all be better people, and also to ponder, how do people have the strength to fight this long for so many decades?
Yeah.
That's what the creator of the statue said. Her hands are clenched. She said she works so hard on the little girl's face because she doesn't want to seem depressed, sad, or angry. She wants to look dignified and determined because this statue is going to be staring right at the Japanese embassy in South Korea. Just to give you an idea of what this statue means to Koreans, during winter months, you'll commonly see people place scarves around the little girl's neck. And on super rainy seasons, usually people will place umbrellas over her. They'll place it over her shoulders so that she won't get wet. Well, one day, an American live streamer, Ramsey, decides to go live stream the Comfort Woman statue. One of them, I mean, there's many of them, but he decides to go live stream one of them. He's already been kicked out of Japan, and he's come to Korea. He finds the Comfort Woman statue, and he states this on his live stream. So this indicates to us he knows exactly what this statue means.
Yeah, he weird.
Says Japan hates this thing. Japan hates this statue. There was a lot of discourse. Anytime a statue pops up in front of a Japanese embassy, they'll pull the ambassadors from that location. And there's a whole fight that happens. Sometimes they come back, there's protests, there's people guarding the statue to make sure it doesn't get pulled down. It's a very big deal, yeah. A lot of activists say it works in their favor because every time Japan makes such a big deal, it draws attention to the Comfort Woman statues.
Right.
The little minion, Gino, that he's with asks him, "Oh, tell them why, tell them why."
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Like, the story behind the statue is so hee-hee-ha-ha, so cute, so funny.
So he did it twice.
Ramsey hands the camera to Gino so he can hold it in place for his live stream. He then sits down on the empty chair next to the little girl and he says, "I stand with the Korean people. I love Korea, and everything I did in Japan was for the Korean and Chinese people." Then he proceeds to blow a kiss at the camera. Then he turns his cheek to the side and he kisses the little girl on the cheek, which really angers a lot of South Koreans and really everyone. Because think about the symbolism of what this statue means. This is not the statue of a little girl who's just having a good time. It's just a cute little... He knows what this statue means. Yeah. And to kiss her on the cheek, it gets worse because he's going to go again. He sees that people have reacted to this. It starts getting a little bit of traction in South Korea. People are saying, why would he kiss her cheek? This is so disgusting. But they're not angry to the point of like, we got to do something about it. It's just, this is really disrespectful. Do you think he meant it as disrespect? Or it's just, he's so dumb and so culturally insensitive? Because what he's saying is, he stands for Korean people, and I guess maybe he's trying to say he stands for Comfort Woman. The whole thing is weird. People are confused about it. But he sees the reaction, and he tells his stream. So I got a plan for today. I'm gonna go to the Japanese embassy because I saw that the Koreans were getting mad about that comfort woman statue shit. And if I'm leaving soon, might as well. I think the main comfort woman statue is in front of the Japanese embassy, so that's where we're going right now. And I'm gonna go into the embassy to see if they know who the I am. And I'm gonna ask them if they're gonna let me come back to Japan, but I'm gonna go to the comfort woman statue first. He finally gets to the embassy. He shows the comfort woman statue, the same one. And this time, he starts playing ETA by New Jeans and starts twerking on the statue. In front of the statue, on her lap, as well as going around the back of the little girl to put her head in his shirt. Then he looks straight into the camera while twerking. He licks his fingers and puts his hands under her skirt and repeats the motion of taking it in and out, which you know exactly what this motion could be.
Bro, why though?
And into her skirt?
Yeah, after licking his fingers.
Nigga, fucking hoe, bro.
This clip then goes viral. And he's
He
still
deserved
not
to
done.
get beat up
Later, he tries
badly.
to go back to the statue, but by this point, Koreans have seen the videos. They're enraged. They have set up blockades so that he cannot get to the statue. He finds another one of a comfort woman standing up. That is the incident where he rubs baby oil all over himself whilst playing a Diddy song. And
Bro, why are you pushing it though? Like, why you ODing it though? Like, why are you doing that? Like, that's weird, and you know what's going on, bro. Like,
dancing up on the statue. This is where the hunt for Ramsey begins. Even before what happened with the comfort woman statues, Ramsey and Gino have been behaving as if there are no social norms in South Korea, no consequences, and even then people were accommodating enough, very politely, civilly telling them they cannot do these things that they are doing. So for example, he goes onto a bus, live streams loud music, he's playing loud music in public, he's live streaming. Gino is twerking on the public bus while Ramsey is slapping Gino's butt. This is very out of the norm in South Korea. You do not do this.
You don't do this nowhere for real unless you in a New York subway. Like, bro, let people relax, chill.
Type of stuff. Honestly, I don't think you should do this type of stuff anywhere on public transit. You just don't do that.
Yeah, they know it's gonna cause a reaction.
Yes.
That's why they do it. So it's not that they didn't know.
So South Koreans, and I believe the same could be said for Japan, even to speak on the phone on public transit is considered very rude.
Dang.
Yeah,
Now
well,
that's
you just have to
different.
keep the volume low.
Very low.
Try not to disturb
Yes.
others.
The police stop the bus and tell him to stop, cut it out, cut it out. And they're very nice about it, to which Johnny says, I can't dance. You cannot dance. The police tell him, you
Yeah.
cannot dance. He responds, this is American culture. Which, side note, he does say this is Black American culture, but like, you know it's not. And we know it's not.
Yeah.
And we know what you're trying to do here. Every Black netizen is just side-eyeing him right now. And on that point, many Black netizens have voiced so much frustration because there's a lot of discourse of how difficult it already is to travel to very homogenous places like South Korea because of racism that does indeed exist. Johnny could potentially be making it even more difficult for other netizens who just genuinely want to travel the world and enjoy other cultures.
Facts.
And might
streaming.
I add that he also makes a mockery of major issues in America. He's American, but on a subway train in South Korea, he screams because people are side-eyeing him and it seems like they're about to call the police. He gets very worried. He's like, oh, I think they're about to call the police. So he starts screaming, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, I can't breathe. In this mocking tone.
George Floyd, I can't breathe, I can't breathe.
Like just walking down the subway saying, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, I can't breathe. So truly, nobody wants him. Japan doesn't want him. Korea doesn't want him. Americans don't want him.
Yeah, he need
But
to
he
get a life.
continues, I'm a dancer in America, American culture. And the police are like, we don't care. You're a dancer? We don't care. This is Korea. He says, this is a free concert. Get off the bus. And they escort him off the bus.
Valid.
Other instances include, as no shock to any of us, that these are the types of guys that get upset when girls don't find them attractive, which naturally
Bro.
makes them hate every woman alive
I literally said this.
because I personally can't fathom how anyone could find them more than a clump of cells and flesh that take up space. There is no brain operating there. The elevator does not go all the way up. Lights are on, but nobody's home. They
Lights
proceed to
not
just
even on.
harass women on the streets, live streaming it. At one point, they run into foreigners also visiting and living in Korea. They're regular foreigners who are abiding by cultural norms. And out of nowhere, Gino, the minion, starts just calling one of the girls, just standing there, minding her own business. Move along, dirty bitch. Dirty emo bitch. Get the out of here with your stank ass. Your looks like roast beef, stank ass sashimi bitch. Get the out of here. Suck my dick. You better move along. I bet your smells like fish. It stinks. Oh, I'm so sick of this. It's always the foreign nasty white bitches. Oh, I hate them. I can't stand them. I can't stand these bitches.
What if he does that in America?
Oh, he would get wrecked. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't care what city you go into America, you're gonna get wrecked.
Yeah, we don't even. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. Swiss cheese, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Niggas might pull up with that switchy, put that switch to his ass like somebody hit their grandma. But them bitches not gonna sting like the twigs. Them motherfuckers gonna sting like, you know what I'm saying? Hold up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He couldn't get away with doing this crazy stuff in the U.S. They might actually hurt that nigga. Like, I'm not talking about like hurt hospital. I'm talking about hurt grave. They might actually put that boy under.
In a rural area, you're gonna get wrecked. You could be in New York City, you're gonna get wrecked. You could be anywhere, you're gonna get wrecked.
What?
So they are ballsy in South Korea because everyone's more reserved. Nobody's
Man, what in the U.S.
These
Bro,
type.
where I stay in Louisiana, no permit. You could clutch that thing. 18 years old, like fresh up out of high school, you could clutch that thing. No paperwork, none of that. Niggas really got that on them. What you mean? I done seen niggas die in real life. What are you talking about? At parties, that boy for nothing. Like, nigga, what do you mean? Like what?
Type of behavior.
Boy, they wouldn't do
Yes,
nothing.
and I do think that certain cultures, everybody has, and it could be for bad reasons too. South Korea definitely, it has its ups and downs, but it's a bit of a mind your own business type of culture. So if someone's saying or like screaming racial slurs in South Korea, a lot of times people will try to mind their own business.
Just ignore
Versus
that,
in
nigga.
America, people would be like, that's not okay. Why would you say that? That's unacceptable. So he also thinks that a lot of East Asians are docile, submissive, polite, weak, meek, scared.
So that's why he's doing this.
Yes.
But he wouldn't dare to do 1% of that in America because he's the moment that someone step up, he instantly go back.
And they know
Yeah.
because they tried it in Thailand and it didn't work, so they stopped.
Right.
And it's not like, because a lot of netizens are saying, why don't you try this in Brazil? Why don't you come to Mexico? We want you. So a lot of
don't try that
netizens
in
from those
Mexico.
countries are actually asking Ramsey and Gino to come to their country just to see what happens.
That boy
But
gonna
he
go
specifically
missing.
targets countries for that reason.
Yeah, don't try that in Mexico. That boy gonna be in somebody's food. Don't try that.
Some of my favorite wholesome videos to watch online are the ones where people who speak multiple languages but don't look like it will randomly break out into full sentences, surprising everyone around them.
Shout out Rod Mango.
Totally.
Rosetta Stone. Come on, bro.
.com/rotten. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of
Dang.
your life. Redeem for
For the rest of
50%
my
off at
life?
rosettastone.com/rotten today.
50% off? I do want to learn Korean. I ain't gonna cap. Maybe I should listen
In
to
another instance, he walks up to a Korean woman minding her own business. This is Gino the minion, and asks if he can eat her private part.
Can I eat your
She does not understand what he's saying, but then he proceeds to stick his tongue out and try to crudely show how he would do it.
Yeah, he not getting none, bro. Sadly. Not even sadly. Deservingly so. He's not getting any type of play, bro.
Which is just straight up harassing women on the street. They also seemingly stalk minors around. Stalk could be subjective here, but Ramsey follows a girl who appears to be a minor into a store, asking her why she's scared of him. Because she avoids him by
Nigga,
going
look
into
at
a
you.
store. And he's like,
Bro, has he never looked at himself in the mirror?
why are you scared? Why are you scared of me? Why are you scared? Which you're chasing her into a store, shoving a camera in her face. I would say that would induce some level of fear. The employee tries to help the girl, and Ramsey starts screaming, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." He laughs maniacally before going out onto the street and running up to a group of older ladies. Like, I would say they're my mom's age, screaming, "Ah!" into the camera and just pointing the camera at their faces, like blocking their way of traffic on the street and screaming, "Ah!" maniacally into his camera. The ladies
I like that word. Maniacally.
stares at him for a minute, then stares
Alright,
at the
Steph.
screen. Listen, if this were my mother, bless her heart, she would have cried all the way home. But this
Not
woman
my mama.
just screams, "Ah!" right back and gives him the side eye to the point where he just tells her, "Ajuma, relax.
My
Ajuma,
mama might
relax."
punch his ass.
What do you mean, Ajuma, relax? Johnny also walks around asking girls if they want to be on his stream, and one group of foreigners informs him, "No, thank you." But also, could you delete the video since like you caught me on your video when you were asking? And at this point, he shoves the camera preemptively into their face. So then Ramsey continues recording them asking, and if I don't, what are you gonna do about it, ho? Exactly, so shut the up. In another clip, he spots a cute little band performing outside on stage, which by the way, this whole performance is cute because it's small and it's intimate in real life, but it's being televised on national television. He proceeds to jump onto the stage, disrupts the entire show. He thinks it's hilarious, basically saying, look at me jumping up on here. They're not even doing nothing about it. What do you want them to do about it? Tackle you to the ground and beat you up? One of the more viral and annoying things that Ramsey does in Korea, aside from obviously everything else, is there's a clip of him at 7-Eleven. In Korea, you can eat at the 7-Eleven. There's booths and tables there. There are microwaves to heat up cup noodles. Everything is self-serve though, and even the trash is very well organized.
Bro, I've seen videos of these 7-Elevens and it look fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It look actually like I want to go.
Recyclables, food waste, regular waste. I've never walked into a 7-Eleven and felt like someone left a mess behind. Everybody is very respectful. It's the cultural norm. Except here is Johnny sitting there with his big speaker next to him so that anyone that donates can say whatever dumb middle school run-of-the-mill sexist, misogynistic remarks out loud, and it'll play those really loudly. He also uses the speaker to play Gangnam Style. He's obnoxiously dancing inside of a business, disturbing the customers, mentally disturbing them, disturbing their peace. He also tries to dance with a male customer who clearly does not want to be anywhere near this guy. He purchases a few ramen and a soju with one of those empty ice cups. He's on camera sitting there pouring soju into the ice cup.
Why
You're
are
not
you
allowed
being
to
messy?
drink the soju inside the 7-Eleven. You can purchase alcohol inside the 7-Eleven. You cannot drink it inside because
Soju is like Korean liquor.
Yes, like
Yeah,
you
I got
can.
some
The
right
ice cups
here.
are meant for coffee, teas, other beverages. The older lady that works there
Yes,
walks
yes,
over
I did.
and tells him very nicely that he can't drink the alcohol here in the store. To which he aggressively tells her, "I'm black. I'm not gonna do nothing." And again, you know my yes.
Why he keep-
And she basically tells him to also shh. Because he's playing like loud noises. Also, his followers love playing monkey noises, which also feels very racist. Like everything feels so racist to everybody. And he's like, yeah, I'll shut up. I'll eat the ramen. I'll shut up. I'll eat the ramen. But as she's walking away, he starts lunging after her like he's about to punch her or like pull her hair or something.
Weird.
He has a cup ramen in front of him.
Bro,
And later,
it's crazy because this the type of stuff that I did when I was like elementary school, bro. Like, come on, bro.
he just starts pouring out the broth of the cup ramen onto the table.
No,
Pouring.
Spilling
bro.
the
On
broth
purpose, pouring it out.
Bro,
onto it.
this little old lady don't need to deal with all that, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, for real, bro? Like, these the type of niggas. I see why they was beating this dude ass, bro. Cause these the type of niggas you just want to squabble up. If you know Kendrick, my bad. It was just stuck in my head. These the type of niggas that you just want to squabble up with just cause they disrespectful to the world, bro. Like, why you doing this old lady like that? She ain't even doing nothing, bro. She in there working her ass off. Look, bro.
After her, like he's about to punch her or like pull her hair or something. He
Trying
has
to
a
take
cup
care of
ramen in
business.
front of him, and later he just starts pouring out
This
the
man got me wanting to
broth of
smoke
the
some
cup ramen
weed.
onto the
He's
table.
stressing me.
He's spilling
And
the
I'm
On
sober.
purpose, pouring it out.
onto a table.
Onto a
So
table.
it's like all wet, running down.
Oh yeah. Then he grabs handfuls of noodles and starts throwing it all over the convenience store.
What the fuck?
Throwing it at the entry door where people are walking in, just throwing it at the windows.
If I was the
Everywhere.
cops, I would have had that nigga
Another
in that
woman,
bitch
a
working in
customer
that
walks in,
motherfucker.
spots the soju that he's presumably drinking. He did not drink it, but I mean, it's sitting right there. He's a foreigner. He's acting drunk. He's behaving drunk, throwing a tantrum. So she tells him, "You can't drink in the store. You can't drink in the store." To which he responds, "Shut up, bitch." She threatens to call the police on him, to which he responds, "Call the police, stupid ass. Stupid. I didn't even drink here. Are you dumb? You stupid ass, bald ass bitch." And she's on the way out. He screams at her, "I did not drink it, you stupid bitch. You Chinese ass bitch." Which, if you know Korean culture, there is a strong respect for elders. Like, you just don't do
Yeah.
that on a human level. But
Bro.
this is extra hard to watch.
Yeah, it's not even a Korean thing. I know, like, it's bigger in Korea, but I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the norms around the world be counter norms. A lot of the norms in conservative places be norms in other places. Like, it's like you don't bring certain people around your grandma. Like, you're not about to be around my grandma acting weird. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? Like, you could be the homie from elementary. You come around my grandma, you gotta act right, nigga. Pull your pants up. You know, be respectful. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real nigga shit. You disrespect my grandma, it's up. Like, it's up and it's stuck. Because it's like, that's a whole different level of disrespect. Same thing with my mama. You disrespect my mama, you disrespect my sisters, anybody. You disrespect my pops might blow you away with that, you know? But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't. You know how to act, bro. Everybody know how to act.
Because of cultural norms there. Another notable incident includes when he asks a Korean elderly man this elderly man clearly is without a home, and he is asking for some spare change for food, and he's motioning like food. Ramsey says, give me a little dance first. Give me a little dancey dance first. And he goes, you very hungry? Give me a little dance like this. Come on, dance. He went around the city with a bag of fish that he bought out of the market, just letting it rot in the heat, letting the bag rip open and leak onto the bus, just waving it around in front of people's faces.
Cooking Korean barbecue.
He goes to university campuses to show college students the rising sun flag, which is the flag that Japan occupied Korea under. To give you an idea, be, and I'm not saying this is equivalent, but just to give you some context, because I know Asian history can feel very foreign, it's like going around showing Confederate flags.
Oh, Confederate?
Like, historically speaking, what Japan did to Korea.
And they still fly this motherfucker. They still fly that motherfucker. That's crazy.
Yeah, in the past is a very tough subject. Like, so many people died. There was a suppression of Korean culture. It was like a complete cutoff of culture and identity. Koreans were not allowed to be Korean. They were not even second-class citizens during that time where their country was occupied. Korean language and history was banned in an attempt to erase Korean cultural heritage. Korean farmers were forced off their lands. They were forced to work in mines, factories for the Japanese military. It was horrendous. He would go through the subways with the sound in Korean. Korea belongs to Japan. You are all comfort women. Playing on his phone.
It is crazy that he's walking free doing all of these things for so long.
Yeah, so like just replace
Even just one of those actions is beyond, like, and he's doing this constantly.
Yeah. It just, again, replace it with American history. Just think about how that would play out.
I would have had that nigga locked up doing free labor.
Another one playing the words, I hate Korean people. I wish Koreans would get a nuclear weapon from Kim Jong-un. Which, I mean, Korean people, that doesn't even make sense. But he would continue playing speeches from the North Korean dictator, which when people tell him to stop, he will call them racist. And if that doesn't work, he will say, I have autism, and then walk away. He also threatened to slap a BTS member.
What do you mean?
He was just like, I'm going to slap a BTS member.
That's his quote?
Yeah, something along those lines.
You can't even get close.
He didn't name he's like just a BTS member.
Yeah. Even when he's doing all of this, probably every Korean person wants to slap him, but they show great restraint. But I believe there are some lines that you just do not cross. Side note, he does have another sidekick in Korea, a guy named Hank Yu. Honestly, I don't know this man. I just know that in the depths of Twitter, there's a video of him saying that he only essays men. He also calls himself the Texas Asian Nazi. There's pictures of him that he took dressed up next to anti-Semitic signage and holding rifles. He was sentenced to a few years in prison in the U.S. for firearm-related charges. I believe he was deported after his sentence back to Korea. Which we know not much about this guy, but we know so much based off of that alone.
Yeah, we do. We know a lot. We know enough.
I mean, they must be lurking in the same weird forums. Probably one of the more heinous things he does in Korea, if you can believe it, it gets worse aside from everything, is Ramsey, somehow this also never gets talked about, at least not in depth, but Ramsey goes to Lotte World, which is the Disney World of South Korea, filled primarily with children. He has this stupid speaker on him. So again, if anyone donates, they can have whatever play. And the speaker would play things like in Korean. The translation being, Ramsey Ishmael is the most popular upskirt streamer in Korea. Ladies, be careful. There are children around. And the words that are being used in Korean, children are understanding all of it. On repeat, or sounds of people screaming in pain. It sounds like war torture sounds. Or I would like to have with children in Korean.
How is he not kicked out immediately?
He eventually gets kicked out.
Who is his mods? He probably ain't got no type of mods.
Yeah, and like you can see on the live stream, there's children around him. The automated voice would play it loudly in
And who
Korean.
donating? Who
My
watching
name is
it?
Ramsey Ishmael Khalid, which, side note, it uses Johnny's Somali salami, whatever, but I'm changing it to his real name. My name is Ramsey Ishmael Khalid. My name is Ramsey Ishmael Khalid, and I'm here to impregnate a cute little Korean girl. Again,
What the
there's children
hell?
everywhere. To which, if people look at him, he just screams, autism, 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 I have autism.
I have autism. I have autism. I have autism.
And when someone calls him out on his bullshit further, he points at them and accuses them of being racist, screaming, racism, this is racism, Black
Man, I
Lives
don't care
Matter,
what that
George
nigga
Floyd, I'm
saying.
scared for my life. Again, making a mockery. To another security guard, he says, you can't see my phone, you can't see nothing, you're racist, you can't talk to me, you're racist, I don't talk to racists. Again, mocking very real issues in the world. As one netizen comment points out though, making an ass out of yourself in a country where all adult men are required to serve in the military, not a smart move, Ramsey. Not a
Yeah.
smart move. But Ramsey
All
either
them niggas
doesn't
train
know
low-key.
or knows and doesn't care. But he says in a live stream, people come up to me, why are you being racist to people in other countries? For money, for clout. I said it many times. I don't give a put this in your next YouTube documentary. Because people are making YouTube videos about him. I don't give a We're here tonight and we're not scared. His friend Gino starts jumping in. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for that guy to swing on you. I swear, swing on us.
It's funny
Basically
games till you
saying,
die.
swing or shut up. I think he verbatim says that at one point, Ramsey, is like, swing or walk away. In a separate live stream, he keeps taunting the public. He says that he has a video, a message for the Korean public, to the Korean people after what he did to the Comfort Woman statues. He says, I love Korea. And try to find me. I dare you. You never will, so good luck. That's all I want to say to you guys. And I need to address the Korean media. I want to address JTBC News for defamation against me. Today, JTBC News said that I was guilty of 2 different assault cases. This is not true. He keeps putting up like hand heart symbols. I love the Korean police. I respect the Korean police. They have always treated me greatly. I am compliant. We are working with the Korean police with whatever investigations they have. I am not guilty of assault. He then proceeds to pull up a picture of South Korean President Yoon, which, I mean, I personally don't know many Koreans who are fond of him, but go off, I guess. He continues, President Yoon, I love you. I love you. He kisses the picture of President Yoon on his phone. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you. You guys only saw me dancing with this statue, and honestly, if I could take it back, I won't. How about that? I'm not sorry. If you want me to apologize and bow down on my knees and apologize, I refuse. I won't. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to kill me? You're going to kill me for dancing with a metal bronze statue? Get over it.
They might.
That's what I need to say. You think I'm going to sit here and a fake apology? You think I'm going to sit here and like cry about it? I'm not sorry. I'm not. He goes on to say, don't let the media fool you. This is the real Comfort Woman. He pulls up a picture of a woman leaning up against a car, a clear stereotype of a worker, someone who, consents. And he says, this is what the real Korean Comfort Women were. Korean Comfort Women were dudes. Sorry, I debated there if I wanted to say that word. I don't use that word, but just to give you the gravity of what he's saying. He continues, they were used by the American soldiers. They were used by, they were illegally paid. I think the Japanese soldiers were paid 7 yen a month, and the Korean Comfort Women were paid 300, 400 yen a month. If we go back in time, that's enough to buy a house. So these were rich. These were some of the richest in Korea, if we're being honest. This is entirely false. But he's trying to insinuate that the women that were taken, tortured, and essayed repeatedly, as well as beaten on a daily basis, and then ultimately killed, were exploiting the military men to make a profit. He then welcomes people to come hunt for him. He says, I'm out for Halloween. Come catch me. I'm outside. Many netizens have stated, he asked and he found out. This lands him getting punched in the face by Captain Korea in the middle of the street that we were talking about earlier. That both Ramsey and Gino IRL are outside at night on the street when a man walks up to Ramsey and just decks him in the face. Gino catches the bulk of it on his live stream. The Korean man promptly walks off like nothing happened, hands in his pockets. This is the first assault. He's not running away. The Korean man is not running away. He's just steadily walking away. It feels like an action movie, honestly. Gino, the minion, starts screaming after the Korean man. What the f*** is your problem? What the f*** is your problem? The man who just punched Ramsey calmly turns around and says, F*** you guys. Gino, the minion, starts following him, interestingly, at a laughingly slow speed. He's not even trying to catch up with the Korean man. The Korean man is not even fast walking out of there. He's not even pacing out of there. It's almost like he's timing the steps. As the Korean man takes one step, he takes one step. The Korean man takes one step, he takes one step. His actions, his speed, very incongruent with his words. He's screaming, "Oh, hell no, why are you walking away?" Side note, even the Korean news have played the clip in which the broadcaster states they continue to follow the man who is now walking away, asking him why he is walking away while maintaining a safe distance.
Dang.
He keeps screaming at him, "Bring your ass back here." The man indeed does do that. He comes back, snatches Gino's phone, one of them, straight from his hand, and then proceeds to just calmly walk away. Quite slowly, might I add.
He's holding Gino's phone?
He snatches Gino's phone. So now we're getting it from Ramsey's live stream because he's back up and live streaming after the punch. He takes Gino's phone and he just proceeds to calmly walk away. They continue to follow him, all walking, not even at a brisk walk, but a slow walk.
Nigga tried
Give
to
me my
push
phone
him.
back. To which the Korean man then turns around and throws the phone onto the ground.
Man, what? If I know that's how that nigga make his living, I'm stumping his shit out. I'm breaking his shit in front of his face. And then I'm gonna be like, now what, bitch, nigga? Fuck you gonna do, nigga? Fuck wrong with you? You gonna do something about it? You was up here talking that rah-rah, nigga. You could die, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? What's up? Man, what? I would have been, man, don't let me fuck.
Leaving Gino to go run after it. I mean, the whole thing is quite goofy, but Ramsey keeps following the Korean man, screaming, "Why are you walking away? Why are you walking away? Why are you walking away?" Which the lesson here being, be very careful what you wish for, because he stops walking away. He turns around, faces Ramsey. Ramsey instantly flinches and changes his tune. "I swear to God, man, try it. Yeah, you better walk away. You better walk away. Walk away, I swear to God. Go." Then what's up? Walking away.
Why are you walking away? And then goes, "Go, walk away, walk away."
Yeah, because he
That
turns
made
back
IRL
around
clip
and
for
he
me.
almost does like a little punching
Yeah.
movement, and Ramsey flinches, and now he's like, "Walk away, huh? What's up? Walking away. What's up? What's up? Come back. What's up? Come back. You tried, and what's up?" I do not think that the man is scared of him, which is why he stops punching him. I think that one punch is okay. Perhaps some people could see it as justified considering what Ramsey did. But seeing Ramsey flinch like that and appear scared, it would just be straight up bullying if he were to swing again and again.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a fair fight, even though it's 2-1. Later, Ramsey goes on to rant. Hitting and running away? What a bitch. Which, Ramsey, come on now. Let's be real.
You didn't throw
He
one
did
punch.
not run away.
You-
But he continues. "Since when is hitting and running gangster? Roll up and square up. Where you at, bro? Come on, bro. That's not gangster." To which I honestly thought there might have been mixed comments because ultimately violence is never justified. But the comments read, "It was not enough. 2v1 and they didn't dare do shit. These little mother kept provoking him. But when the guy turned around, he starts ducking back like a little LMAO. Just take the L, bro." Ramsey ends up with a bandage on his right eyebrow after this altercation. The next hunt finds a handful of Korean live streamers finding Ramsey at night in a relatively empty alleyway. They're screaming at him, and one Korean man in particular is screaming, "You touch my girlfriend?" So they're all
What?
getting into a fight. It's a whole mess. There are multiple clips with multiple angles of a fight going viral all over X, showing Ramsey, Gino, and their Korean friend Hank Yu getting beaten up by one Korean man.
Dang.
The Korean man starts with Ramsey first, runs after him, tackles him to the ground, shoulder flips him onto the cold pavement, and then kicks him in the chest. He's quiet now. Ramsey is not talking back. Ramsey has zipped it up. He's quiet. The other Korean live streamers are calling the Korean guy a legend, a legend. Now, one thing to note is that Koreans are very into 1v1 fights.
Valid.
Ramsey is on the ground,
They're doing the
vulnerable. They
1v1
do not all
fade,
come
nigga.
in and attack him and jump him. In fact, the Korean man's girlfriend steps in and pulls him off of Ramsey. Then the Korean man goes for Gino, the friend, slams him onto the ground. But it appears while he's going after Gino, Hank Yu, the disgraced Korean, is trying to grab at him. So now it's Gino and Hank versus the Korean man, to which the rest of the Korean live streamers break it up, and they're screaming, "You can do one-on-one, you stupid asshole."
Yeah.
Because they're saying, like,
One-on-one fade, nigga. Fuck
Yeah,
wrong
because
with
they
you.
have so many people, they could have jumped the three
Oh.
of
Hell
them. So
yeah.
they are still being.
Nigga, we
Civil.
ran.
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Nigga, we ran the fair fade 1-on-1. And now y'all trying to jump, nigga? Nah, hell nah, bro. We gonna either run the 1-on-1 fade or we gonna jump y'all niggas. That's what I would have told them niggas. Fuck wrong with y'all. Nigga, we could run the 1-on-1 fade and be civil, nigga. But if y'all want to get uncivil, we could get real uncivil in this bitch. And then it's gonna get real ugly in this motherfucker. That's what I...
it's not about jumping someone, it's about karma. is what I think they think.
Man, fuck all that karma shit. Nigga, either we doing it one-on-one, boxing one-on-one, and we gonna run our fair fade, and I'll catch a fade one-on-one with every motherfucker here, or we gonna jump y'all niggas, and we gonna stump y'all out, and we ain't gonna leave no room for no extra fighting after that, nigga. What? Now, you can run your one-on-one fade, and by the time I get to the third homeboy, if you want to run it again, we could run that bit again. Because I know I'm about to boom, boom, boom all y'all ass. But, nigga, we got to come to a conclusion. And, man, karma, what? Nigga, you going to meet this karma today. I got two karmas right here. One right here, and these motherfuckers taste nasty. That's
what I'm condoning. You know, it's assault, it's a fight, but I guess they want a fair fight, a fair assault. That's what netizens are indicating.
Yeah.
South Korean netizen comments translates to
it ain't fair.
The person who kicked that guy should be awarded a Good Citizen Award. Another reads, who cares what the police do? Citizens are punishing well. Don't even get the police involved. Another South Korean netizen comments, ban them from leaving the country and just release them on the road. God takes care of it.
Dang.
Another comment ominously reads, it's going to get worse. They need to deport him to save his life. Ramsey Khalid Ismail could have been a very smart guy before he becomes one of the most hated people in East Asia,
so
and I want to say
that nigga got stoned.
Asia and perhaps America, everywhere. He's just a 23-year-old guy. From what I can tell, there's very sparse information online, but he's a very normal guy from Scottsdale, Arizona. Allegedly, he graduates from Arizona State University with a finance degree. Side note, there's a whole video of him talking about school, and he says before his career online, he was just a bot, and he calls all the students bots. Someone who is stuck in a hamster wheel of life, which is so dumb. We are all hamsters stuck in the wheel of life.
Yeah.
We're just a racist hamster that's still stuck in the wheel of life, but you're also getting punched in the face every now and then.
Yeah, all the money we making going to the government. They're all running a big Ponzi scheme, a big finesse. That like all of us are NPCs, nigga. We just trying to all get our money on. That's all it is.
Back to his monologue, he states, when I went
in the club, we all failed.
To school those first 4 years, I did really well in finance, but I was depressed. I did not like where my life was going. Like, where does that leave you? You go to school for 4 years, you go to work for 4 years, you end up in a cubicle with a suit on and a tie. Where's the mobility in life? I'd rather take a risk. You gotta get your money in, B. You know, and live a different life, you know what I mean? Live in a different country, meet different people. Which, he's meeting people already. Even with his right eyebrow busted, he is live streaming saying things like, if you want to run up, run up. I don't care. Come get me. I'm not scared. And run up they do indeed. Dang. There is a YouTuber in South Korea that is also a former UDT member.
UDT?
The UDT in South Korea is the equivalent of a Navy SEAL in America.
Dang.
He has joined the hunt for Ramsey.
Oh, no.
He finds him. Ramsey's eyebrow is already busted. He's walking out of a building, and the UDT man is waiting outside for him, taunting him. 어디가, Ramsey? 어디가? 어디가 means, where you going? Where you going? And he's like, where you going? And of course, Ramsey doesn't know what to say. He's alone. His little minions aren't with him. He's alone. He's afraid. So he just tries to act like he's big, bad, and tough. 어디가? 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 What the f*** 어디가? And all of a sudden, the UDT man just shoves him onto the ground. It's a light shove, but he goes flying.
Come on, nigga.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's like a few little kicks that happen, and the police eventually get called. And I will say the police are very quick to separate the two of them, but Ramsey does seem very shaken up, disoriented when he gets back up. And it's...
This ain't no just... I ain't gonna lie, this ain't no just push. This nigga looks like he is struggling. This is not no push. This how it might look if I get a hold of that nigga.
The police eventually get called. And I will say the police are very quick to separate the two of them. But Ramsey does seem very shaken up, disoriented when he gets back up. And it's clear to see that he got off very lucky with this interaction.
Man, what?
When the former UDT specialist, he's being held back by cops, the way he is eyeing Ramsey up and down, it's like he's ready for another round. He's taunting him. Good night, Salami. Good night. Good night.
He's saying that in English?
Yeah.
야, 굿나잇, 소말리. 굿나잇.
The UDT man is ultimately arrested. Before he gets arrested...
What about Salami?
He's arrested.
Yes. But he gets released pretty quickly. Before he gets arrested, though, which this part feels like a sitcom, he's halfway into the back of a cop car. The police are standing right next to him, but they're letting him speak to another guy who's live streaming. And he's telling the live stream. He tells the live stream a very important message. In South Korea, we handle kids like Ramsey. So don't come to Korea and around.
Okay.
To which netizens were
Type shit.
enraged at him being detained. Though it was only for a moment, they comment, let him free, he did nothing wrong.
Oh, God.
There was brief outrage in South Korea over the incident. Well, for two things. For one, in Japan, Ramsey apologized multiple times. Once he even got down on his knees. Was he actually sorry? No, because the minute he gets deported and leaves Japan,
No, they made you get on your knees and you talking crazy? No, that nigga a hoe. Nigga on your knees? I ain't gonna lie. Nigga gotta have me at gunpoint to have me on my knees, bro. That's crazy fucking work, nigga.
he's already talking badly about Japan. But some South Koreans felt offended by the fact that he does far worse in South Korea and does not even offer up a fake apology. It feels extra disrespectful. For example, it would be like the equivalent of making 9/11 jokes in the New York City train loudly, aggressively, nonstop, then getting on your knees to fake apologize versus rubbing baby oil and completely disrespecting the 9/11 memorial in New York City and going, I don't give a come find me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It just feels, yes, both are bad.
Yeah, he's ramping up. He's getting worse and more and more aggressive. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the comparison alone is pretty insane, but I'm just trying to give you context of what it would be like in it.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
it helps. Yeah.
Yes, so the South Koreans are very upset. I see some Americans commenting things like, why do you even want an apology? Even if he gives one, he doesn't mean it. It almost feels though like he cares more or is scared more of the Japanese government and does far worse and gets away with it in South Korea. So a lot of Koreans are like, we just want the same, at least give us a fake apology and we'll see what we do with it. We're going to get into it. He does give a fake apology later. But this was one big point of contention. The second being the cops kept showing up in every altercation and almost shielding Ramsey from the Korean citizens. Which, side note, I can see why the police have to do that per se. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's honestly infuriating for Koreans to see. Yeah. I get the Korean netizen perspective. And Ramsey keeps taunting Korea with it. There's a clip of him saying that he's a VIP in South Korea. That's why the police protect him. He's like a VIP. He also says America made South Korea. He's American, so he owns this place. Which is not how it works. Yeah.
Goofy.
I just don't understand how he can get away with this.
Yeah. And he said that the cops told him he's a VIP, which I think is highly doubtful. And if they did, they probably meant vile idiot particle that happens to have limbs.
Dang.
But Ramsey taunts Koreans, and there's a clip of him saying in the back of the cop car, idiot. Americans have way more freedom here, protecting us. We in the back of a police car, come and get us, come and get us. The UDT man was released after being detained.
Dang, that's a nice spot,
It is stated
too.
that he was set up with a 5-star hotel afterwards.
Dang.
And he donated $1,000 to the pizza place that led him to discovering Ramsey's location and treated everybody to pizza.
Oh,
He also
shit.
read out a public statement, a public apology for his act of violence. In it, he states, quote, without me even realizing, my fist just left. Basically saying, okay, I'm not laughing because violence is not laughable.
No, I'm laughing. Dang. Somehow I blacked out. Next thing I know, he was on the ground, stumbling, jumbling, bloody face. I don't know. It must have been an act from God. I don't know. Like, I would have been juicing it.
But he's like, I'm sorry that my hand just did something. That,
Yes.
Okay.
And many Korean netizens received it as a very admirable apology. They have accepted
I'm going
his
to
apology
church this
as
Sunday to make
sincere
sure I
and
don't
genuine.
have to get
Other netizens point to how at one point a group of Korean men surrounded Ramsey and his minion Gino and keeps yelling at them. Gino, the minion, keeps yelling at them. I will sue the out of you. I will sue the out of you. Which feels, I mean, sure, okay, but
I would've
netizens
punished
point
him
out
just for
it's
saying
not
that.
what someone big, bad, and tough
Nigga,
like
you
Gino
don't know
should be
who
saying
I
in that
am.
moment. Isn't this the same guy that will gut your ass out alive that's doing all these things and he's now just saying, my daddy's gonna call a lawyer? It's just people point out the weird juxtaposition. In regards to those finding and beating
They gotta
Ramsey,
get them
one
some
netizen
ski
comments,
masks over there in
where
South
can I
Korea.
donate to this great cause? Vigilante justice is the future. The world needs Batman. Others
Okay,
find it hilarious.
let's calm down.
Some have commented, bro became the ultimate Asian Pokemon. Bro's not living long doing crap like that. Or many, again, point out the interesting aspect of Korean culture that people forget about, which is Ramsey doesn't understand the uniqueness of South Korea amongst other Asian countries. Almost all adult Korean men, from college students to the elderly, are military veterans.
Yeah.
They also point out the fact that he believes that East Asians are docile, submissive creatures. And yet, here's a picture of him on day 5 of his South Korea trip, looking like very normal. Here's a picture of him, day 35 of his...
Bro, I'm telling... Oh my God, bro, I'm telling you, that nigga did not just push him. She said that nigga pushed him. Look at this nigga. He got a bloody boot on his face. Hairline receding. Teeth look like they about to fall out. Oh my gosh. You fuck around, you find out, bro.
South Korea trip, he's got a busted eyebrow. He's bleeding from the lip, a busted lip. He looks like he's went through it. Another comment reads, just ban him from leaving the country and pretend not to notice every time he gets beaten. The strangest part in all of this is he's not even really making money. I mean, I'm sure he's making some money, but he's not making much to ruin his life over. He's getting banned from countries. He's facing potential legal and criminal trouble. His entire reputation as both his online persona of Johnny Salami, but also as Ramsey Khalid Ishmael of Arizona is completely tarnished.
Bro, not only that, he banned off half the social media platforms, bro. You not making YouTube money. You only on Rumble. Unless they gave you a Rumble deal, you not making no money, bro. And the Rumble deal money gonna run out quick because you just regular life expenses. You don't got no sponsors. I know they not sponsoring you. Like, let's be honest, this nigga's not making no money for real. He making pennies. Like, he's scraping by. And because he in another country, the US dollars might translate and give him a little leeway, but he's not making good money. He's not making good bread.
Sure, he may or may not have a finance degree, but who would even hire him now? He's not even really controversial. Controversial would imply that he has some sort of fan base that supports him and is willing to fight for him. He's just generally a hated person. Nobody likes him. He doesn't even have a strong fan base. The only reason that people...
Even the people in his chat don't like him because when they donate, I want y'all to keep in mind. If he had people who actually cared about him, bro, this nigga was knocked out on the side of the street, black screen, and niggas was like doing TTS of racist stuff. Like, they liable to stump this nigga out more while he knocked out. And the people donating don't even care. Like, they really donating so he could get punished more. Like, you don't think that's crazy?
People are donating is, in my belief, they're just donating because they get to see real life reactions and consequences on Ramsey in real time. You pay a few dollars and watch someone get beat up in real time. It's like a game. If anything, his fans are excited at him getting punched, which would mean that they're not really his fans. Can you really call them supporters at this point? He also has a few streamer friends whom, again, just want to associate with him because he's getting some attention right now. But I highly doubt they will still be around later when it dies down. One tries to defend Ramsey, stating, Koreans want to assault Ramsey because he dared to twerk on a World War II statue. The same streamer also posts, Korean thugs chimping out and attacking Johnny because they have zero emotional regulation. Who cares that he twerked on a statue? That's not an excuse to lose control of your anger and kick someone in the head.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
They ain't lose control.
Ramsey has been banned from Twitch, suspended from YouTube, to which he says, I'm appealing the suspension from my channel, which I believe was a mistake.
It wasn't no mistake.
He has since taken to Twitter to ask people to send him crypto, stating, I created these today if you want to support free speech. This is the best way to support me continuing the fight. It does not appear that he's making much money off of all of this, but Koreans are. Yeah, Ramsey has been nicknamed the Golden Goblin. It's a game reference. A Golden Goblin is a game character that if you find and kill them, their pockets explode and you get all the loot. Meaning if you find him, you stream yourself screaming, yelling, degrading him, and perhaps punching him. Your viewership, fan base, donations, everything skyrockets. You make a shit ton of money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so many news networks have even stated perhaps everyone is making money off of Ramsey, but Ramsey, one news network states, quote, he came to Korea for clickbait, but he gets turned into clickbait.
Dang, niggas
Some
running out the
netizens have
lotto
stated
on
that
that
crime
nigga.
goes unpunished every single day. There's violence that does indeed go without consequences. People get away with crimes all the time. If this is one of those times where he gets punched in the face and justice is not served, we're not going to be crying about it in our rooms. Ramsey has said, I think I was just born to be evil. I don't know. I don't like being good. If I make content, I like to make content that makes people violent.
Are you
Someone
okay?
in the chat says with him, I would rather self-exit, bro, than let an Asian kill me. Yeah, because I guess we're just so below them.
Come on, bro.
That one person, I mean. To which Johnny responds, bruh, I hate Asians. Honestly, I think all Asians need to be exterminated. The only Asians I respect are the Chinese. And the thing is, Korean N-words are Chinese. Japanese are Chinese. That's why I only respect China. They're all Chinese, but with different writing scripts. To which someone asks him, what's your favorite neighborhood in Seoul? Which, like, what are you doing? He responds, shut your ass up, you dirty Asian slur. I want to start a race war. With every country I go and radicalize, I'm going to start a race war. I'm tired of Asians. You're not starting a race war. Like, people just don't like you. You're not starting.
Bro, you went over there, nigga. Bro, is this nigga really okay? Imagine I move into a white neighborhood and be like, dang, I hate white people. Nigga, you moved into the neighborhood.
Anything. Speaking of, Johnny has since apologized. He was confronted by a group of Korean live streamers, including the UDT guy who punched him the third time of his assault. He apologized in front of a Comfort Woman statue.
Where is heroin?
He states that as an American, he didn't even know what the statue really meant, which is a bold-faced lie. He knew exactly what that meant. I think that he had a better understanding of Comfort Woman and the history of it versus any other American that I could find on the street.
Yeah. That's my next target. Where the can I find this one? Because I gotta do a twerking video. This one looks beautiful. Where can I find this one?
He knew exactly. The first day he saw that statue to kiss her cheek, he said Japanese hate this shit. Like, they hate this statue.
So he even know the ongoing
political, contentions between the two countries. So, like, you know more than you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, everything he said is very, very, it's so bad to the point that it's so on the head of the issue. Like, he's so aware of the issue. That's why everything is so triggering.
Yes. So then he goes back twice and does it again. He also says he's glad that this issue brought awareness to Comfort Women, which Korean netizens have been very upset about. Those Korean live streamers that made him apologize accepted his apology. But I will say Korean netizens are very upset by this. Most of Korea is upset by this. They're actually very upset with those Korean live streamers saying, who are you to accept the apology?
Oh, they're upset that the Korean streamer accepted his apology.
And they all like took pictures smiling with each other. And it's one thing to accept the apology of like, hey, I'm sorry for things I've said about you. I'm sorry for that altercation that we personally had.
Yeah.
But they cannot accept the apology for what he did to the Comfort Women statues. And also, you know, a good chunk of the live streamers were men. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, also, what is the irony in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did apologize. I don't think he's sorry.
어느 플랫폼에서도 너가 한 번 더 이런 일이 대한민국에 있다라면은 나는 네가 어디 있던 무슨 일을 하던 다 찾아낼 수 있어. 그러니까 절대 그런 일은 하지 마.
Well, look, I moved on from it. I'm cool. Like, I already apologized. I got him over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So now you have a career. So
I mean, just listen to him talk about Asians. He wants.
Bro, it's not even about the Asians. I already see through this scheme that this nigga just said. Bro, in the middle of his apology, he trying to say we passed that. Like, all right, bro, I understand you talking this rah-rah. I'm past that. I did something for you. No, bro, no. He did something for himself. You was the opportunity, goofy ass nigga. You was the opportunity. He took advantage of that. Shout out all of my people over there. Hey, stop playing with.
On some all exterminated, whether that's just for race bait or not. I think he's just saying that so that he can walk around and try to make money without getting his face beat up every 2 seconds. Now, there are speculations that if he is able to leave South Korea, he is either headed for China or India next, which I think both would be very fascinating to see him in.
I heard India don't play that, bro.
Would be very interesting. He says about China, you will see me in Beijing, in Shenzhen, and a Chinese megacity, Chongqing. Japan will pay for what they've done to you, China, for what they've done to the greatest country on earth, the Communist People Republic of China, which I don't think he's going to be allowed into China. I do know that there are certain areas that have now a visa-free, like 144-hour in certain cities in China for American citizens. But just based off of American passport laws, going into Japan and Korea are relatively easy, if not usually a guarantee. Getting into China, there is a harder visa process, even just for visitors. And if they see that he's banned from Japan, I just don't see how he's going to get it.
Buddy, done for
He's also talked about how he wants to go to India, which is easier to get a tourist visa as a U.S. national. He has his reservations, though. He says, I'm not going to lie. I want to go to India and crash on those for content. But they're going to do like a And if you thought Korea was bad, wait till like a mob of Indians comes after me. Yeah. That shit is gonna be bad. Maybe it's the next journey, real guys. Bad. Which is already so bizarrely offensive, but he goes on to say, because people look at Asians as like meek and like an easy target. So if I start attacking countries and races that people don't like already.
Oh, he's saying that
people don't like Indians.
Whoa.
Where did they say that at?
And he says, maybe I can win
Where they say that at, nigga? I fuck with India.
some of the haters back over, which again indicates he believes people don't like Indians, but also India is not a race. Also, Indians are Asians. Okay. To which his co-host on the group chat says, Asians are seen as this kind of like passive robotic people. Like they have this weird, people like them for some reason. He goes on to state that if you can get India to hate you, everyone else in the world will love you because they don't like India. Which is such an unhinged take I've never seen before and so stupidly mistaken. And also, no, you would just have more people hating you and giving them more of a reason to deck you in the face. I'm so confused by this logic.
Honestly,
Bro is on a tour to get as much hate as possible.
I would like to see him go to North Korea and try this.
That's what people are saying.
Nah.
Yeah,
They
right?
gonna
Deport
murder
him to
that
North
nigga.
Korea, try this. See, dance on one of their statues, see what happens.
Dance, like remove one of the paintings
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Nah, they might actually
Play a
might.
Diddy
Ain't no
song.
might.
Yeah.
Do it. To which I thought there might be more meaningful insight in the comment section, but alas, netizens will be netizens. And all the comments are like, don't go to India. Ramsey, come to our country. And they keep listing out their countries, including violent videos and GIFs of crimes that were committed in each country that they list out. But those people will have to wait. I don't know for how long, though, because he's currently being investigated for the convenience store incident, the 7-Eleven incident
He wrong
of
for that.
disturbing the business,
That made
as well
me
as for
mad.
potential drug use. And though not confirmed, he could potentially be investigated for creating fully explicit deepfakes. He had this thing where
What?
he tried to reason that he only came to Korea because he has a Korean girlfriend who told him to come, which is, side note, she's another Korean IRL streamer. He knows that every Korean hates him, and for him to lie and say that he is dating this Korean IRL streamer and she invited him to Korea to do these things is heinous. That puts a huge target on her back. But then he goes
hope
on to
nobody
state that
believe
he's
that
getting
shit.
great private parts from her. It's weird. He shows a video of them kissing at a park and in a car. While it is true that he and the Korean streamer have hung out in the past, they are not dating, and the videos of them kissing are not real.
How they
So
did
creating
that?
and or spreading explicit deepfakes in Korea is
How
quite a
did they do
sensitive
that?
topic, I'm sure, anywhere. But with the new Enthram case especially, it's a very touchy subject, which people believe he could be investigated for. The other streamer in question is currently suing Ramsey for defamation. In retaliation, it's alleged that Ramsey
ain't got
doxed
no
her
money.
information to try and get her to stop. If he is found guilty of creating and spreading explicit deepfake videos, he could be imprisoned up to 7 years in prison. I think honestly he should be more careful about the drug charges. You would do whatever you want in certain countries, but like drug is also a line that you don't cross in Korea.
Yeah, I've
Drugs
heard that.
are a line you just don't cross. I believe
Russia,
4 Korean
all of
YouTubers
that.
are filing charges against him alleging assault. It's alleged that the Korean authorities have confiscated his passport, but Ramsey is either putting up a fake brave front or he just doesn't know how serious it is. I don't know.
He gonna keep playing
I
until it
imagine
gets
worst
serious.
case scenario, he'll be deported with a re-entry ban for a few years, similar to Japan. Best case scenario, perhaps he can see what Korean inmates think about comfort women statues and his dancing on them.
Dang.
Under Article 2 of the Korean Criminal Act, foreigners who commit crimes in Korea are subject to local laws. So we will just have to wait and see what happens to Ramsey. What are your thoughts on this case? I originally thought that we were going to talk about this topic in a Mott's episode because when I was coming across it, everybody was talking about it in like a very lighthearted manner of this guy is just a nation's punching bag. He's so racist. He's so bad. But it's more shocking to the point that it's so unserious because he's so unhinged. But when you actually look
Deep
into
dive
what
into
he
it?
does
Yeah.
and the things he said and the act of what he did, and a lot of times many of the American streamers and the YouTubers, and I don't blame them because it's part of Korean history, I'm sure they don't want to get it wrong and they don't want to step on anyone's toes. But also the topic of comfort women, it's like, oh, these are statues symbolizing people who were victimized in war, who were tortured in war, women who were tortured. But it's so deep and it's so ingrained into many Koreans' lives. It's just...
I'm glad she
What are
broke
your
it down.
thoughts? What do you think is going to happen to him? Do you think that this is vigilante justice, or do you think ultimately violence is bad? What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. And please stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.
Ooh, this one was a long one, but you know what I'm saying? Salami meat, I feel like outside of the justice system, I feel like justice system got to do something because this is not no new behavior, regardless of if he apologized or not. He's documenting history. He did it himself too. Documenting history that this man is doing anything for clout. He literally on camera saying, I'm doing this for clout, I'm doing this for money. So we already know he up to no good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like justice-wise, they got to do something about this. Vigilante side, they doing what they supposed to do. They doing, you know what I'm saying? Buddy almost knocked his damn teeth out his bottom row. I don't know. Hey, but he deserved what he got. Y'all, let me know y'all's opinion. I learned something new today. That's what these videos are for. Even though it was very, very gruesome, I learned something new about South Korea, and I understand why the birth rate is where it's at. I understand why it's scraping the ground because of the stuff that the women went through. Should we check out the Diddy case? I feel like we missed out on that. It might be a good watch. So yeah, I know it's been a while since we did a Rotten Mango video, so I had to hit y'all with one. This one was a good one. Very annoying. I was fed up this whole time because Buddy just doing the most absurd antics ever. But I kind of knew a little bit about this case, so it wasn't too jarring. I think the most jarring and crazy part was the way she gave us context, while also giving us like what he doing and why he doing it and stuff like that. So I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love always. Ladies, please stay safe. And you know what I'm saying? I know it's a crazy, scary world out here. I'm going to try to do my part as a man because I'm not going to lie, this year I learned a lot about women's problems and stuff like that. And I feel like as men, we try not to dive too deep into it. But, you know, one day I want kids and I can't choose whether it's a boy or a girl. So it's cool to see this. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, stay safe because there's some crazy, crazy people out here in this world.